Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh shoot, battery's about to die. Stand by. Welcome back to my channel. I know I'm still in the same thing. It's totally fine. I'm trying to batch this content, okay? My battery died when I tried this, so this is take two. This is going to be all the books that I got in the month of April. I got, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Is that eight? 8 new books in the month of April. Here is my beautiful, lovely stack of new books. I'm super excited. So this is going to be part of my mini book haul series that I am doing on my channel. I'm going to have that in a playlist and I'll link it somewhere in the cards up above so you guys can go and review that because my shelves are growing. I have a third bookshelf that I keep in my work from home like living room / area that I might bring into here, but once I add these books I'm definitely going to need another bookshelf, which I will probably put right here somewhere. Okay. And the reason why you guys are not seeing that other bookshelf is because it has more of like my self-help, personal finance, anything related to like continuing education books on there. They're not necessarily the fun books, but these are my fun books and I love them. I'm going to show you guys really quickly and then fix it. But like at the top, I have some trinkets. Those are the books that up at the top over there that I'm finishing reading this month, but all my shelves at the top are decorated. Okay. And yes, I'm sitting on the floor. Okay. So let's get into it. Oh, I made that a little crooked. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with the first book. A lot of these were anticipated new releases. Some of these are a continuation of a series. Only one of these I did not have to pay for with my own money. Some of these I was able to get at a really discounted price because I have gift cards or I found books on sale. But I'll go ahead and start with the, oh my God, new releases that I got. And then I will continue on with the other books. So the first one, I'm just going to get it out of the way because it is a hardcover book. And y'all know how I feel about hardcover books. I am a paperback girly until the day I die. But I'm not waiting a year for the paperback version of this book to come out. Highly anticipated new release. Yes! I'm so excited. Okay. Abby Jimenez is one of my auto-buy authors. That woman can write anything and I will purchase it. Okay. I will read it. Her grocery list. Okay. I'm buying it. I'm reading it. It is what it is. I'm trying to be careful with people who are reviewing this book. If I see this in somebody's like thumbnail, I'm not watching that video until I read this because I do not want to be swayed. Okay. Abby Jimenez in my eyes can do nothing wrong. But again, remember I told you guys, I think in my last video, Abby Jimenez does beautiful, colorful, suck you in covers. And then you open the book and you are crying within the first 50 pages. And I feel like that's what this one is going to do. But this is Say You Will Remember Me. This did come out, I can't even remember, but I did a whole video on anticipated releases, but I'll put the date on the screen somewhere. I am so excited to get into this. I am not going to read the synopsis because I already know it's not going to do the book justice. I'm probably going to end up crying or screaming or throwing this book across the room. Okay. I'm just excited to get back into this world. I am actually still working on finishing up a series of hers, and that is, where is it? The first book was The Friend Zone. I have 2 more. I think Life is Short and the Happily Ever After playlist. I am going to read those. It's not going to dictate if I read this book first, but I am super excited to get into this, and I actually cannot wait until they make this in paperback because I need a paperback book. Okay, that's the first one. The next new release that I got, and I know it is controversial, I don't want to hear it, I like the series. Okay, that is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore. These are cutie small town romances that actually fit the seasons. I think, what was it, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe was for like fall. The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, that actually should have been before the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. That was the only gripe I had with it because it was like a summer into like September, like pre-fall, leading into pre-fall. And then she had the Christmas Tree Farm, which came out right around like the Christmas season. And now she has this one out, which is perfectly in tune and in time for like when strawberries are at their like peak perfection. Okay, but I cannot wait to read this. I'm not going to read the synopses. I've seen people read this and I've tried to like skip over that section of their videos because I want to go into this blind. I usually finish these pretty quickly. They range anywhere from 3.5 to 3.75 stars. I think maybe I gave one of them a 4-star because it really was giving all the Gilmore Girl vibes. But I'm super excited to get into this. It is super short. It's gonna follow one of the characters or maybe someone new. There is a snippet, like I want to say 1 or 2 chapters of this in the Christmas Tree Farm, but I did not read it. But I'm super excited to get back into this, and I do love the foiling, if you guys can see that. I do love the foiling on this book, but I am super excited to get into it. That was another one of my anticipated new releases. Another one. This one snagged me in because one, the female main character, I'm assuming that's who that is on the front of this book, looks just like she looks just like Maya, right? Am I tripping? Or she looks like Maya? I have no idea what this book is about, but because of that song and because of how the female main character looks, I was like, add to cart. No, look, vibes, okay? I'm not reading the synopsis. I'm not even gonna look at the blurb. The only thing that I know is that this author, Maya Ariel, she also has another book called When I Think of You. Do I have that one? Actually, I have both of her books. I just realized that. So I got this one. This one actually just released this month, and I'm super, super excited about it. And then I have her other book, which I didn't even realize that. When I Think of You. And y'all, white people, like looking headlong, like just lovingly into each other's eyes, gets me every time. This is a beautiful cover, a beautiful book. I have no idea what it's about. I cannot wait to read it. So I guess I'll read this one first, and then I'll read this one second, since that's essentially the order they came out. Did both of these books release this year? I think maybe one of these came out in 24. This book actually came out last year. So I'll read this one first, and then I'll read this one, even though this is the new release, okay? The last new release that I got for April, and y'all, there are still, I think there's at least 2, maybe 3 books on my anticipated release 2025 release books for the year that still haven't come out. But it is April 15th when I'm filming this. I think one of the books has been released today, and then there's another book releasing, or 2 of the books releasing at the end of the month. I'm not going to add those to this pile because I'm not going to order those books until the other 2 books come out, if that makes sense. I want all 3 books. I'm not gonna order them one at a time. I want all my books at the same time. But another author that I really, really like, I wouldn't say she's an auto-buy author, but I do love reading her stories, and she is UK based, I think. UK based, or yeah, she's UK based. That's Beth O'Leary, and that is Swept Away. I have loved some of her other books. I think one was like The Roommate Swap, and then like Road Trip or something like that. I'll put pictures on the screen of those books that I've read, but they were like really cute, fun reads, and they kind of like help bring me out of almost falling into a reading slump. And you guys know I love narrators and authors who are from different countries, because I love to hear the different accents whenever I do immersive reading and listen to them via audiobook. But this is my very first hard copy, my very first physical copy of a Beth O'Leary book, and I am super excited. I am thinking about maybe purchasing some of her other books just so that, you know, I can have like a slight collection of her works, but I do like her readings. Oh, here it is. The Flat Share, The Switch, The Road Trip, and The No-Show. Those are the books that I've read by Beth O'Leary. They're actually in here. The only one I think I haven't read was The Wake Up Call, but I do have Swept Away, and I do want to get some of her other books as physical copies. But this was released this month, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, these are not, I have 3 more books. They are not new releases. One of these I've never heard anything about. I just really loved, I actually read the synopsis when I picked it up. I love the synopsis and what the story was about. There's also a second book that's already out, and then they also are going to be available on Libby within the next 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe. And I love the sprayed edges on this book, so I have to get the other book that matches this. But it is, I don't know if it's YA, but it is fantasy romance, so romantic-y, I'm thinking, want to say. But that is going to be The Hurricane Wars by Thea. Ooh, I'm not gonna mess her name up, okay? I want to say she is an Asian author. Looks like it. I see her paper on her picture. Her picture is on here. I think she's Asian. But the second book to this book is called A Monsoon Rising, and I love the cover art on that. But here's the book. I was in the airport coming home from work, and I gotta stop doing this. This is why I avoid like those little like shopettes in the airport, because they usually have like this whole back wall or section dedicated to books, and this was not cheap. Okay, It was a little over 20 bucks for a paperback, but beautiful and totally worth it. And y'all know how I am about my fantasy, especially there's a little bit of romance thrown in there. This book is I love this cover, and look at the freaking sprayed edges. Look at that. I love phases of the moon, y'all. When there's a full moon, especially like it was this past weekend where it was a pink moon, that's just it. Okay, I am a sucker for the moon phases and when there are like those crazy phenomena going on. But the premise of this book, and I'll read it to you guys because I did read in the airport already, so I kind of already know. Okay? But I cannot pronounce one of the main characters' name, so we'll call them T. Okay, but all T has ever known is the Hurricane Wars. Growing up an orphan in a nation under siege by the ruthless Night Emperor, she found her family among the soldiers who fight for freedom. But T is hiding a deadly secret. Light magic courses through her veins, a blazing power that can cut through the Night Emperor's shadows, believed to have been wiped out years ago. Prince Ulrich, I can say that name, is his father's weapon, sworn to obliterate any threats to the Night Emperor's rule. With his mighty shadow magic, he and T lock into a deadly dance that neither seems able to truly win, until in a clash of light and dark, their powers merge to create a strange new force, and a dangerous forbidden attraction reveals itself. This war can only end with them, but an even greater danger is coming, and T and Ulrich must decide. Can they work together to save their world, or will they end up destroying each other? And based off that alone, and the fact that this is romance and fantasy combined, and I don't think it's YA. It might be, but it is what it is. Y'all, the cover art of this is beautiful. And the premise, I do like that premise. That premise definitely sucked me in. It added to me purchasing this book. And I also am looking for the second book. The second book is pictured here. I don't know if you guys can see that. But I am interested in getting this because it also has beautiful sprayed edges, and then this is the author of the book. I think like I said, I think she's Asian. I don't want to butcher saying her name. All I know is maybe her first name is Thea. I'm not gonna mess up her last name, but some of the edges are raised, some of the book is matte, and then there is like this shiny portion here. But I am super excited to get into this fantasy. Okay, the second to last book, and this is by an author I have read before and I'm super excited to pick up again. It's Adrienne Young. I think the first time I said this author's name, I said Adriana. Y'all, dyslexic, okay? Adrienne Young, and that is Spells for Forgetting. That is this beautiful book here. I've seen it as a hardcover, but again, paperback girly until the day I die. What other book did I read by this author? Oh, my God, it's right here. The Unmaking of June Farrow. I absolutely love that book. I was listening to it as an audio on my way to work, traveling for my job. And it was pulling so much emotion out of me. I had to stop and go to the bathroom and like just take a deep breath and like pause it and then pick it back up. And I was just like, what the hell just happened in this book? So I was like, well, if that book did that to me, maybe this book will do that. And I think this book came out before that one. I am not 100% sure. This is a fairly new author to me, and I'm very excited. I had no idea Adrienne Young had a backlist, because apparently there is Spells for Forgetting, Saint, Sky in the Deep, The Girl the Sea Gave Back, Fable, Namesake, and The Last Legacy. So if I enjoy this, I will be picking up more books by this author. This book came out in 2022, so not extremely old, but not extremely new. Okay, so I'm excited to get into this and read more of this author's work. And then the last book, this is in continuation of a series, and I'm trying to be careful because this book or this series has several reviews, some of them good, some of them not so good, some of them mid. Okay, and I don't want to be swayed. I do want to pick it up because I already have the first book. Okay, and it is getting read. This is by Lucy Score. Lucy Score, just like Megan Quinn, has an extensive fucking backlist. Extensive. Okay, I do have Lucy Score books that I really love. Ooh, the Riley Thorne series is probably my favorite series of hers. And then the other series that I read by her that I like, it is just 2 books. So I don't know, it's like a duology, not necessarily a series. And that is the Welcome Home series. I read the Christmas Fix and did not know there was a book before that one. So I picked up Mr. Fixer Upper, and it is giving very much spring vibes. So I will be reading that either in April or May. And then I'm trying to see if there were any other books that I've read by her. No, but I am super excited to finish out the Riley Thorne series, and then I'm going to start the Knock 'em Out series, and that is Things We Hide from the Light. And the other book is Things We Never Got Over. I do need to read that one first, but this one, the reason why I saved this one last, I did not pay for this book, but also the way that I got this, you guys are probably going to be shocked. I was shocked. Some of you may be like, girl, that is not new, but whatever. I was walking through IAH, which is the Houston International Airport, which is about 45-50-ish minutes away from where I live, which is where I fly out of whenever I have to go do my military job, right? So I'm in Terminal B, and there is a little cart on this wall, like not too far from where the Starbucks is, and the whole premise is take a book, leave a book, kind of like a free little library, but in the airport. And I was like, I fly out of that airport often, at least once a month for the past couple of years, like 4 or 5 years, okay? I've never seen that cart there. I don't know if they have it in other terminals, because I will fly out of Terminal B, C, and E. I've never seen it in any of the terminals, but I was like, this is a cool freaking idea. I love it. I did not have a book to leave because I was already reading a physical book, but I saw this book and I was like, yes, I will take it. So this book I got for free. I didn't spend a thing on it. All I had to do is go to the airport and pay attention. So I will, when I fly out of there next month, check and see if there are any other books that I love. They did have like Dracula and some other. I'm so mad I didn't like take a picture or record or anything. But if I see it when I am flying out in May, I will put up a little snippet, record it, and show it to you guys. But I thought that was so freaking cool because obviously you can tell this is secondhand. It is not a new book by any means, but I was just like, if I don't like that first book, I'm gonna feel so bad because I already spent money on the first book. I don't want to buy the second book, and I damn sure don't want to buy the third book. And I was like, well, no harm, no foul. I already have the first book. Here's the second book, and I'll see if I can find the third book somewhere. But I love that idea of being able to, you know, take a book, leave a book, you know, so long as some people are using the honor system and they're not going crazy. But there were other really good reads. I just didn't want to have 4 or 5 books in my bag, and I also didn't want to take too many books from anybody else who was maybe interested. So I just picked up the one. I didn't have anything to leave. I will bring 2 books so that I can leave them now that I know that is a thing in the airport. Y'all let me know in the comments down below if the airport that's closest to you does that, or if you've flown into any other airports that do that. I love it because it saved me from spending money. So I got this book from the airport in Houston, and then this book I got from the airport in Gulfport, Mississippi, okay? But I thought that was so effing cool. But those, I'll show you guys again, my whole little stack. I'm probably gonna have to put the Abby Jimenez book on the bottom, so that way nothing tips over and hits me in the freaking face. But yeah, that was, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. I don't know why I keep thinking it's 9 books. I think the one hardcover book is like throwing me off. But let's see if I can pick up this whole stack, and these are gonna get stickered and placed onto my bookshelves. But this is sorry if you guys can't see my face, this is my book haul for the month of April, and April's not even over. Some of these books I got at the very end. One of these I got at the very end of, well, did I get it at the very end of March? No, all these books were purchased in April, so I love this. So here is my mini book haul of the books that I purchased in the month of April. I do still have 3 more that I want to get, but I'll probably put that in the next book haul. I am so so excited about this. You guys tell me if you got any of your anticipated releases in the month of April, if there are any books that you plan on getting in March, any that you got in, I'm sorry, yeah, any that you got in March, and any that you plan on getting in May. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.